Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker Studio in Fort Collins, Colorado, and supported by the Music District, a music-centric gathering place to cultivate talents, support professional development, and encourage connections. Welcome to Live at Lunch. I'm your host today, David V. I am happy today to introduce Trout Steak Revival.
Sun, always waiting for the moon to come out. Hand in hand, how we walked those miles. Back when you know it made you smile. Then it all comes crashing down. We both drift from the sound of the wind blowing through the pines again. Promises we couldn't keep, fell so fast and much too deep, and now we slumber beneath the falling dust. And our youth, you know, we felt we must. Then it all comes crashing down. We both drift from the sound of the wind blowing through the pines again. Sound of the wind blowing through the pines again, blowing through the pines again, blowing through the pines again, blowing through the pines again.
Trout Steak Revival here on KRFC 88.9 FM, Live at Lunch. Thanks for being here today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, man.
Nice toasty day today. And that was sung by Casey Houlihan on the stand-up bass there. We've got Bevan Foley on the fiddle, William Coster on guitar dobro, and Travis McNamara on banjo. All right. Thanks for joining us again. You know, you guys look like you have a busy summer coming up. We've got a gig July 8th here and 9th at the Mishawaka. Looking forward to that. Two nights. Who's playing on the bill with you? Do you know?
Let's see. The first night we've got Lindsay Liu and Kyle Tuttle. out of Nashville, and then also Buffalo Commons out of Steamboat Springs.
There you go. Should be an exciting show.
And then the next night, we have Big Richard from, where are they saying they're from?
Well,
Northern Colorado.
Yeah,
Northern Colorado.
You know, some of them live in Fort Collins. So.
Yeah, Big Richard, super excited to have them. And then we have Pixie and the Party Grass Boys out of Salt Lake City.
Should be great shows.
Yeah.
How'd you guys meet? How'd you get together?
Man, let's see. So Casey and Will and I, we were probably the first ones to meet. Actually, Will and I met. We were campers at the same summer camp back in Michigan, many moons ago.
Like 1989.
Sitting around the campfire jamming?
Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Must
right
be a great
on.
way for musicians to meet.
Yeah. It's a lot of acoustic music, a lot of late nights hanging out, and then we were playing for a while, and then Bevan actually hired us to play an event that she was putting on called Green Beer and Bluegrass way long ago at the Walnut Room here in Denver.
I assume that was a St. Patty's Day thing.
It was.
Okay.
It was the same time.
Otherwise, that's a pretty special beer.
Yeah, we got tired of listening to questionable Irish music on St. Patty's Day and just had a bluegrass show.
Very smart.
Excellent. And then you guys have 5 albums out. You've been busy. You've been together since 2010. Before that?
I think a little bit before then, we were starting to play shows and trying to figure out if we had a clue about what we were doing.
Yeah,
We did.
Fuzzy beginnings.
yeah. No, we played. I think the first year we played, we exclusively played at a place called the Buck Snort Saloon in Pine Junction. And if you know about it, then you know it's also for sale.
It's
isn't
for
it?
sale
we
right
can't
now.
say
You
that.
can-
Maybe you guys should buy it.
But
you don't have to. Though. We're not going to.
It is on the table currently. But anyways, no, it was this really cool. It was an old miners bar, a place where the dollar bills are stuck up on the ceiling, and it just has all of the mountain vibes. And we were drawn to it. Also, we convinced our friends from Denver to come up. I think it was a solid hour drive. But anyways, that was kind of the beginnings of it, was the Buck Snort and low pressure situation, low consequence situation. We had a great time.
Crowd was very appreciative,
Oh man,
receptive.
we were like, it's easy to get people to dance.
That's when I think we were paid mostly in beer and tips.
Yeah.
I've
ain't
still
bad.
never been.
Oh my God.
I know. I might have to tour. I might have to tour with a realtor
Yeah. Just act like you're gonna buy it.
just to see it.
And it didn't take too long. You had some great success at Telluride Bluegrass Festival in 2014. And was that Best Band Award?
Yeah.
It gets all kinds of names.
know there's
but
so
it
many
is-
of them.
it
That
is
wasn't- I can't remember
there's the bands that get booked at the festival, and then there's a band competition. They're totally separate. But often when people talk about it, they say that it's the best band competition, which is misleading in some ways.
Yeah.
But it is bands that are hoping to get on the main stage, and that is your award. Is if you win, you get a slot
On the main
next
stage.
year on the main stage.
So
And
2015
Exactly.
was your main stage appearance.
Yeah.
It was.
And it was cool because we had just released Brighter Every Day. And so we felt sort of momentum and we were excited. We all had our families out there. They all made the trip from wherever. It's a haul from wherever you live. So
But well worth the travel and the
definitely.
trip. So you're working on a new album.
Well, it's an interesting question because I think these three are all working on solo albums currently. So actually, I want to let these guys talk a little bit about that because
Yeah.
it's pretty exciting.
Okay.
And we released an album right before the pandemic, like a month before or so. So we kind of have like this new album that people not everyone's heard. And then we're just working on some other stuff too.
The Light We Bring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and the pandemic was just like a pretty crazy time to be a musician. Like we had 8 months of touring lined up for the Light We Bring album release that just got totally wiped out. So it was a lot of time for us to just like be around our house and still writing and still developing stuff. And so this was kind of a little project to do in the meantime.
Well, in a couple of years to practice on the new album's tunes, too.
That's right. Yeah, we're
We
real
were
good
pretty
now.
practiced up.
I bet you were ready.
We had the
And
album-
that
everything
would
was
have been about
printed.
January 2020 or so that it was released.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we had you booked for Live at Lunch, I believe, in April of 2020, and of course everything closed down. So glad to have you back. And speaking of that, we just heard Through the Pines, And The Heart Wants is next coming up.
Yeah.
And what album is that from?
That's from The Light We Bring, our new album. Yep. One, two, three, four. Can't quite put my finger on it. The stone in my side. I don't want to linger on it. Just want it to pass by. Maybe I can't help it. It just keeps coming back, and there's nothing that I can do. Maybe I'm selfish, or it's out of my control. I just keep coming back to you. The heart wants what the heart wants. The heart wants what the heart wants. Hard to tell what's on my mind. Maybe I want what I can't have. Maybe I've been left behind. Maybe I'm jealous, and that's the way that it is. It doesn't matter how I want it to be. Maybe I can't tell it apart anymore. Or am I just too blind to see? What the heart wants. The heart wants what the heart wants. What the heart wants. The heart wants what the heart wants. The heart wants what the heart wants.
Trout Steak Revival here on KRFC 88.9 FM's Live at Lunch. That was a beautiful song. And a little fiddle virtuosity going on there. Then. Had a lot happening there. You guys mentor children in the Denver school districts. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we work with a couple different organizations. One of them being Cand-Aid, which is from Fort Collins. And Cand-Aid basically has a program called the Tunes program, where they partner with bands, and you go into schools and you show them what you play, and combined with an instrument donation. It's a really cool program because they actually just reach out to schools that might be in need, and they ask the band orchestra directors or choir directors exactly what they need and what they're missing from their program, and just buy it for them. So we've gone to a school and that didn't have the funds for like a jazz ensemble because they didn't have amps or an electric bass and guitar. And then also they had about half as many stands as they needed. So we brought 50 music stands. And like, it's amazing to see like when you deliver something that exactly what someone needs, how excited the kids are, and how like, it's just really gratifying all the way around because you're just helping the Candidate is doing a lot to help.
Affects their lives in a positive manner for the rest of their lives. How did you guys get into that?
Oh gosh, maybe they reached out to us, but we've been partnered with them for quite a while as like a Tunes ambassador band. So
nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
You know, you guys have had some great success and recognition. Westward Magazine picked you as Momentum. Actually, that was the Bluegrass Music Association picked you as a Momentum Band of the Year. That had to be.
We were up for that award. But
Yeah.
we didn't.
Nominated, yeah.
And
We were
then
at the award
Westward.
ceremony.
It's
Okay.
an honor just to be nominated.
It's an honor just to be nominated.
Yeah, to be
for
nominated.
sure.
I'm sure there's bands from all over the United States and a lot of excellent bands. And then, of course, Westward Magazine out of Denver voted you as best bluegrass band, and that, of course, is the Readers. So somebody
Yeah.
thought you guys were
It's
doing well.
crazy. Yeah, we're really lucky to be on that list. When we started playing music in Denver, like it would be like Head for the Hills and Paperbird and like all these bands we really loved and looked up to, and to now be like the band that is getting written in and like picked is just like it's pretty special.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what were you thinking about playing next for us?
We're going to play a song called Loretta, and that is also the name of my wife.
I was going to ask you what the story behind that is, but I think you just explained it.
Yeah. Well, actually, there is a little bit of a story. I met her in the state of Missouri. We were touring through there, played a show the night before, and we were having breakfast, and she was working at a breakfast joint. And I was like, I gotta go talk to her. There's just something about her.
Which
And,
is very out of character for Will. Let's just be clear.
yeah. I'm
like-
not.
Well, he seems extremely outgoing.
I'm not a player. But
For most of the
and
dinner,
I've been married for a while, so definitely not anymore. But yeah, then so I met her and then got her number and we left. And as soon as I got in the van driving down the road, I wrote this song.
Loretta.
Loretta. 1, 2, 3, 4. Light that shone off you as you filled up my coffee was gold like the sun through the blinds. Loretta, ever since I met you, sits a painting of you in the back of my eyes. Your figure was clear like a bulb in a mirror, oh, a siren in silence to find. The picture is fading, so I keep painting bright colors in the back of my eyes. An image of you could stick just like glue to a wall in a house in my mind. Up the palette I lifted and my head was shifted to abstract and dreamy design. Broad brush strokes of color complement each other, keep shades from losing their shine. Yeah, the paint it is peeling, so I keep stealing bright colors for the back of my eye. I'm stealing bright colors for the back of my eyes from my old memories. When my eyes were looking at you and yours were looking at me. of my eyes from my old memories. When my eyes were looking at you and yours were looking at me. Oh, Loretta, I was light as a feather, suspended so softly when we said goodbye. It's the glow in your stare and the air in your hair that won't let you slip out of my mind. But the winds keep gailing, my memories failing to recall your big glowing smile. And the picture is fading, so I keep painting bright colors in the back of my eyes. Yeah, the paint is peeling, so I keep stealing bright colors for the back of my eyes.
Trout Steak Revival here on KRFC 88.9 FM's Live at Lunch. You guys have a big double date coming up at the Mishawaka, July 8th and 9th. You also have a gig up in Avon, July 16th at Xterra USA Championship. That should be a party.
Yeah.
And July 29th, you're going to be in Kemmerer, Wyoming at the Oyster Ridge Music Fest. That's a new one on me. Have you guys done that before?
I've played it before. The band hasn't played it before. I played it probably like 15 years ago.
It's been around a while.
Yeah, it has been. I remember I used to play with a band called Victor Barnes that was from Fort Collins, and we played up there. And Trampled by Turtles was still sitting in chairs, and it was a great time.
So they have some big names up there too.
Yeah, they do. I think Big Head Todd and the Monsters is playing. Headlining the night that we're playing.
Excellent.
It's
Should
just
be a great show.
Cool free town festival across the street from the flagship JCPenney store.
So if you live in Kemmerer,
knows.
you know it's right across from the JCPenney.
Yeah.
If you go past JCPenney, you've missed.
You've gone too
Really,
far.
I think that's pretty much, that's a lot
Ask
of
for
the town.
directions. Pull over. So you guys won an Emmy.
We did.
That must have been really cool and special. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? It was a contribution to a soundtrack, right?
Yeah, we were. It was with Rocky Mountain PBS down in Denver, and they needed a soundtrack. They needed music for one of their like web shows that they were putting together called Great Ingredients. It was all about organic farms around Colorado and organic farmers. And we submitted all of our music to them and just said, use whatever you want to, and they chose one of our songs. And they got nominated for like a Heartland Emmy Award, and
won.
And we were the music, so we won too.
That's excellent. That is just wonderful. Your music is also featured in a certain bank's radio and television advertisements. I can't mention which, but that's kind of cool. So every time you turn on the TV or the radio, you might have a chance for hearing some of your music too, huh? So again, a lot of success. Hopefully that's translating into a lot of bookings and some dinero sooner or later.
A little bit, yeah.
We have fun doing what we do, you know.
We do.
Obviously, everybody says we don't do it for the money, but that doesn't pay the bills. So obviously, where can people find your music?
We're on all the platforms. Our website's troutsteak.com, and it points you in the directions of any type of download or streaming service or
Where do
Physical
you
copy even.
physical
do you
copy,
have
yeah.
physical copies at the shows?
We
do.
Okay,
and
great.
we have a store online as well.
Where do you
with
prefer people look for your music?
I mean, if they want to purchase like a physical copy, that's amazing.
Your website?
You know? Yeah.
We've got all the vinyls and
Oh,
all that too of our
certainly.
So.
Vinyl.
Yeah. We have vinyl, CDs,
Troutstick.com.
downloads.
Yeah, Will's a man of many talents, and one of his talents is some graphic design that he's been doing. So he's been making new posters, one of which will be a special edition for the Mishawaka, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's only going to be available at the Mishawaka.
Do you design the
show.
shirts and stuff too then?
I have designed, I think, one of our shirts. It's a more recent endeavor, the
Posters.
poster design, yeah. So
All right.
The
I
poster's
actually
cool.
got to see a copy of them this morning. They look amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And I'm sure everybody at the show will want to pick themselves up a copy. We've got a song coming up here, The Way It Moves, and Bevan, you're going to be singing this one.
Yeah.
Is this your song you wrote?
Me and one of the former band members, Steve Foltz, the two of us co-wrote it together.
Excellent. And is there any story behind it?
You know, I was listening to this podcast. I think it was The Working Songwriter with Joe Pug, and he was interviewing. Oh man, I'm gonna just space the name right now. Well, he was interviewing an artist who was talking about how like a lot of their verses were like little vignettes or little moments in time kind of saved. And I wrote the verses and Steve wrote the chorus and had like some chords and stuff ready for the verses. So each like verse is like a little memory kind of.
All right.
Yeah.
Trout Steak Revival.
Driving home with the windows open, I catch the breeze palming my fingers for the way it moves, the way it moves. The summer moon is in the rear view rising, lighting up the sky I leave behind. The way it moves, the way it These thoughts of you dance through my mind, just like we did late one night. The two of us underneath those dim bar lights. The way it moves, the way it moves, the way it moves, the way it moves. The way it goes, you know it's all gone in a moment. The way it goes, you know it's all gone when it's quiet, and it will pass you by. So grab on because you know the way. I'm settled in boxes on the floor, street signs that I must learn once more. A new beginning as the winds of change blow through that open door. The way it moves, 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 the way it moves.
Trout Steak Revival here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Well, William Coster,
Yes.
you guys obviously mentor children. When you were growing up, did you have a mentor? Somebody who got you interested in music?
Yeah, I guess, well, originally the summer camp, seeing the counselors playing guitars, it was like, oh.
Where did you grow up?
In Michigan. Yeah, West Michigan. And so that was the initial, I think, thing where I'm like, oh, I could probably do that. I could play a guitar, That looks easy enough.
How old were you?
I don't know. I guess maybe I was like 12 or something when I was like, yeah, I could probably do that. And then it took a few years to get there.
Actually
but,
pick up a guitar and start playing?
Yeah, but then I had a guitar teacher for a few years in high school, Jack Lever, and I'd say he was my mentor that kind of taught me how to play music with other people, where it's like a give and take and a conversation, I guess. Yeah.
How about you, Travis?
Oh, I gotta give it up to my mom, I think.
Is your mom and family musical?
Yeah, my mom was a music teacher back in upstate New York where I was born.
All instruments or piano?
She had to learn a bunch of instruments to get the degree, but she's an amazing sight reader. Piano, she can sight read like Mozart and all that stuff, which I cannot do at all. And she's a great saxophone player and a great singer.
Wow.
So I was kind of like, there was a lot of music around me when I was growing up, and my dad was is a music lover, and so he was like feeding me, in middle school, it was like Led Zeppelin albums and Grateful Dead albums
So
and stuff
how'd
like
you
that.
go from saxophone and Led Zeppelin into banjo?
Well, I mean, there was always like a lot of acoustic music, but it was more kind of Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, like Grateful Dog stuff that they were playing me. But honestly, it was like being at summer camp. There's no electric instruments, so it was all acoustic stuff. But we were all playing guitars, and then once we moved out here, it was like going to bluegrass festivals and the realization that nobody wants to see like a bunch of people play guitar together up on stage.
Need other instruments. And I assume you're from Michigan also? Then?
I am, yeah. I'm from Grand Rapids. And so we kind of fanned out the instrumentation, and honestly, banjo was the last instrument that was not taken, so I got one on Craigslist and tried to figure it out.
Bevan, how about you? Did you have a mentor growing up?
Gosh, I feel like I had a lot of them. I started playing in elementary school, and my two teachers were Betty Lou Keddington and Lisa
Violin?
Appleton.
You started with the violin?
Yeah, and then I went to the Denver School of the Arts for a few years, and the teachers there were awesome. And then high school, I just had a really supportive mom and dad too that would drive me places and spend money that they didn't have to make things happen, like weekly lessons and having a good instrument and all that kind of stuff. So and then went to the University of Denver. So there's been a lot of what
were they musical or just supportive?
They were just very supportive. I mean, my mom had an accordion and my dad had a saxophone that I think they busted out once, and we had a family jam, but that was questionable.
Where did you grow up?
Just south of Denver in Centennial.
Oh, great. Mm-hmm. Was it Centennial then?
It was not. It was unincorporated.
I was going to say, Centennial's not that old.
No, or Littleton. It was technically
way south there.
Yeah, totally.
Well, all right. Well, that leaves Casey.
Yeah, I got to give it up to the Kenosha Unified School District for just having a solid music program. Neither one of my folks, well, my mom sings really well, but not trained or wasn't in a band or anything. And my dad was more of a sports talk radio kind of a guy.
Oh.
And
he was on the radio, or he was
no, listening.
Oh, okay.
While what he called baby dolling up his truck. He would just be out there listening to football or whatever it was, waxing his truck. But no, and in fifth grade when you could try instruments out, my mom was really encouraged. I have three sisters, and we all were part of that program. So I played trombone from elementary school through college. And then in college, that's when I met Will and Trav, and I was like, well, if you have a stringed instrument, you can also sing at the same time of playing it. So I was I kind of set the trombone to the side and was like, this thing it's cool, but I think I'm done with it. Even though these guys they're like, bring your trombone. I'm like, well, maybe.
So what got you from Colorado to, I assume you guys went to school in Michigan?
No, but we all met there. So these guys were working at a summer camp. The camp director was a teacher of mine at the University of Minnesota, and he could see that I was lost, 19-year-old, and didn't have a plan for my summer. And he's like, "Hey, we've got plenty of male positions open at the camp. Would you ever consider working at Camp Henry?" And
Yet another mentor.
yeah, he was totally. He's a guiding light for the three of us and for many people that have been at that camp. But so then when I was 19, I met these guys, and I forget where this started, but that was kind of the start of the acoustic experience for me.
All right. Well, let's see. What do we got next? Every color of the sun. Now, I thought the sun only had a couple of colors, but
Oh, there's a lot of colors.
especially if you're staring at it.
Yeah, you gotta stare a real long time, and then it turns green.
All right.
No, just kidding. All right, this is a new song that is not recorded yet.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I guess it will be. It's a memory now, but my heart, it remembers what a beautiful movement when our leaves start to tremble. A few leaves drop from small secret spots. We laughed as the hours fell in plumes like feathers. It's a whirling of mirth and moments forever. There's evening in the air when the day's just begun. Yeah, the leaves, they start to tremble before turning every color of the sun. So let these new rings remind us that time, it means something. Don't we want to live it up before we die? Sad songs get old, so come out of the cold. Take off your shoes, I want to dance with you tonight. Have all fallen, our branches are bare. The assumptions you had once are no longer there, but the birds are still singing, and I think of you. I feel the cool breeze blowing, see the hairs on your skin. I lift up the covers and let you in my new leaves. Come and rest your head. Fall in love with today, tomorrow we could be dead. So let these new rings remind us that time, it means something. Don't we want to live it up before we die? Sad songs get old, so come out of the cold. Take off your shoes, I want to dance with you tonight. Bask in the new morning light, and it shines like gold. This feeling you swear will never get old. And this world would be lonely without you by my side. Don't want to miss a thing or leave our love behind. So let these new rings remind us that time, it means something. Don't we want to live it up before we die? Sad songs get old, so come out of the cold. Take off your shoes, I want to dance with you tonight.
New music from Trout Steak Revival here on KRFC 88.9 FM's Live at Lunch. Yeah, that's a great new tune.
Thank you.
So, certain music brings us all together, and you guys never really mentioned what were you all listening to when you first started playing? Something that you're like, hey, I've got his albums too, or her albums, or whatever it
You
might
mean
be.
like when we started playing as a
Yeah,
group?
when you first started playing, what were you listening to?
I don't know if I can go back that far, but I do remember when, as Trav mentioned earlier, the banjo was kind of like, well, here's the banjo if you want to learn. And he picked it up like immediately. It was kind of amazing to see somebody that was like, I've never played this before. And then all of a sudden we're like, well, we have a gig tomorrow, so let's do this.
So you better learn quick.
But I do remember I had back in the day when I was still collecting CDs, I had a nice stack of what I thought was kind of things to aspire to or listen to. And John Hartford was up there, Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. I think I gave you some Bill Monroe, but it was like, grain of salt. Things like
Check
that.
it out, but don't expect to emulate
But
it.
like Garcia and Grisman, Old and in the Way, those sort of things. At least that was the start. But, that was not, we did not limit ourselves to that.
Just curious, because some are like, I really want to do some Black Sabbath, and you're like, well, I'm not really. That's
We
not
did
really
cover
the
Black Sabbath, a few years ago. I forget what song it was, but do you remember?
Oh, that.
It was an instrumental tune, wasn't it?
tune.
Megalomania. Who knows?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys listening to now?
Question.
Gosh, a lot of Watch House and who else are you listening?
Any local
Oh,
bands
Tyler
that you guys,
Childers.
friends that you're listening to that maybe our listeners should get turned on to?
Yeah,
Big Richard for sure.
for
Absolutely.
sure.
Which
Big
we've had
Richard.
here on Live at Lunch recently.
Yeah, we saw that.
Let's see who else.
Oh, Alicia Kraft is up here.
Oh, absolutely.
She's just
She's
dropped a
crushing
new
right
record. She's
now.
Our
crushing
new
right
album
now.
is excellent, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've been listening to mostly pop music because I just finished a class at the Music District for learning how to write songs for sync to put in television and for film. So
Where the money is, huh?
yeah,
Oh, really
Pop
get
music.
you.
Will's going to be
Pop
on,
music's awesome.
top 100 pretty soon.
yeah. Have you heard of Justin Bieber?
He's going to be calling soon. Have you write a tune or two. Yeah. Side of the Road is the next tune. Is
Yeah.
that another song by you, Bevan?
Yeah. We kind of all had a hand in this. But yeah, the lyrics mostly are just mine.
Personal song?
It is. It's my dad was really sick for a long time with cancer, and it's kind of a lot to carry around. So that's kind of where this came from.
All right.
Yeah.
One, two, three.
These days of darkness try to weigh us down like a bag of rocks we drag along the ground. What's inside we may never know. We just carry on to where the green grass grows and gone away. All the times behind we let them pass away like shadows in our eyes. If we stay by each other's side, I'll help you carry yours, you'll help me carry mine. A worried heart is a heavy load. Let's take our troubles and let them go. Lay them down by the side of the road. So take my hand and walk along with me down a winding path full of mystery. We'll set our troubles by the riverside, leave them safely there, stacked up and piled high. We've both known the sting of heartache, a lover's touch grown cold, affections they may change, but like the leaves growing back in spring, we must wait
Trout Steak Revival here on KRFC 88.9 FM's Live at Lunch. You can go to our RadioVision KRFC YouTube channel, and you can view all of the KRFC Live at Lunches that we tape and put up there. And while you're there, do us all a favor, do the musicians a favor and KRFC, and subscribe to our RadioVision. We are streaming live at krfcfm.org and also 88.9 terrestrially. I was going to ask you guys a couple more quick questions. Any hobbies? Time for hobbies outside of music?
I love to cook.
Yeah? What type?
What's that?
What type?
Oh,
I thought you said what time?
What time?
What's up? It was
When's
like 8
dinner?
p.m. I'll see you over at my house, I guess. You're invited anytime. My door is always open to you.
Any specialty?
Oh, I've been learning about Italian food. I've been learning about Japanese food. I've been learning about some French food.
Well,
Really,
definitely coming over.
yeah, whatever tastes good. The French food's a lot of butter, which is great for everyone.
It's like lobster. Everything tastes better drowned in butter, right?
That's right.
All right. How about the rest of you guys?
I love to garden
Yeah?
and build things. I live down in Howard, a little bit south of Salida, and my wife and I have a list that will never end of projects and things we'd love to do. And so this spring, I was very liberal with spreading seed on the hillside, and it's gonna be a good summer. So excited to see what happens.
So the rest of y'all live in Denver. So practices must be a little difficult to get together
No, I mean it's it's a 3-hour drive, but.
each way.
Yeah, but it's not a big deal. I mean, that's what we did for 5 years is we get in the van, drive 9 hours, and then play a show. So this really practice is no big deal.
Excellent.
And we've worked it out where we make the most of our time and we're pretty efficient. So, yeah, no big deal. We get together when we need to, sometimes when we don't.
Big house, they can stay at your place when they're down south.
Totally, yeah. Bring your tent and your sleeping pad and all that. But
How about you, Bevan?
Oh man, I have a lot of hobbies. For the last few months, I've been creating a human because I'm pregnant.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. This is gonna be one of the last kind of couple months that we have before we take a little time off for the winter, and to make a full human. So that's my current hobby. All the other hobbies are gone.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Got the name
and-
picked out yet?
No, we're not allowed to talk about names. We have
Okay.
a rule in our house until July. So
All right.
we're today basically, or
Yeah, it's coming up pretty
it's
quick.
Right now.
Especially not on the.
So
Thought
if you
maybe
guys
we
have
could-
some
thought maybe we could
ideas,
premiere it here
you
on
can
Live at
type
Lunch.
them in the YouTube. We'll check them out later.
Yeah, I guess I've been getting into, like I said earlier, painting and the visual arts, and that's been a fun thing to do with my time. Aside from, like Casey, fixing parts of my house when
Honey-do
they break,
lists.
or just I like building and fixing things, and I guess it's good to enjoy that kind of stuff if you don't want to pay other people to do it for you.
Personal satisfaction.
Yeah.
Will built his own house. He is incredibly
Yeah.
handy.
All right. Were you a carpenter by trade earlier?
I built decks for maybe 3 years. Yeah. So yeah, I could build a deck.
You
and
can
then
build things.
I was like, maybe I can build things that go up, walls and stuff.
All
It
right.
all worked out.
So Colorado River is the next tune. Is it the Colorado River or just any Colorado River?
That is a great question, because it's a bit of a misnomer, only in my mind though. When I was deciding to move out to Colorado, Casey and Will were living out at this property that they were caretaking for this place that they used to work at, and it was this amazing, formerly totally dilapidated cabin, but that they made pretty nice out on like 150 acres out on the South Platte River.
Oh, wow.
And so I'd always get to it was out in Conifer down at the end of Foxton Road, and
Excellent fishing.
oh yeah, it was great. So we would get to come, and I would come and just crash out on the couch, and I ended up living there when I moved to Colorado for like the first year, and so I just have like so many great memories wrapped up in that place, and like going and putting my feet in the river, and kind of some of the other like Bevan was saying, just it kind of became like a little collector plate for a bunch of my favorite memories and like little vistas around Colorado. So it all became one place.
And there's the story.
Yeah. One, two, three, four. Wind was blowing off the sign, great crystals up and over the divide. We were driving down the highway 285. It was hot as hell at the tail end of August. I can still remember when I smelled the pines over cool mountain water, felt that river on my skin. Still in midnight shadows, I'm swimming in my sleep in the Colorado River deep. That golden light on that silver water, clouds hanging on the ridge, spirit calling above my head, I can feel it blowing in the wind. Oh, what I give to be back in the mountains, underneath the sky so blue. Just swimming, sinking, laughing and drinking, out in the water out with you. Still in midnight shadows, I'm swimming in my sleep in the Colorado River deep. Still in midnight shadows, I'm swimming in my sleep in the Colorado River deep. Colorado River deep.
Evan, Casey, William, and Travis with Trout Steak Revival here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Before I get too much further into the show, I do want to thank Chris, Eric, and Jeremy with Fort Collins Public Media for doing an excellent job on the audio, as they always do. And I'm sorry, the video, as they always do. And the audio, of course, from our own KRFC's Andy. Well, guys, thanks a lot for showing up today, and we
Thanks for
appreciate it. We
having
know
us.
you're busy. You've got your gig coming up July 8th and 9th here at the Mishawaka up at the Poudre Canyon, and July 16th at Avon, Colorado, and July 23rd in Kemmerer, easy for me to say, Wyoming, and a nice festival up there. And we've got about 2 minutes left. Anything you guys would like to add that we didn't touch base on today?
It's just been a pleasure being up here, man. Thanks
Yeah.
so much for having us.
Great.
Great
What a blessing.
studio.
Yeah.
It's been excellent having you guys. Why don't you lead us out with the instrumental today? Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.